Have you ever killed another human being? Yes, two people actually, and I felt nothing. I was a junior in high school and had just gotten out of class on a Friday when my older brother called me. He was taking his best friend, Chris, kayaking that weekend and he wanted to know if I could go. I drove home as fast as I could and met him to load up our kayaks. We left home around 4:30 in the afternoon. After driving for 5 hours on the interstate, we exited and drove to a gas station to fill up. My brother stayed in the car while Chris and I walked into the gas station. I noticed two guys in their mid-20s arguing with the cashier when we walked in, but I ignored their yelling because the whole situation made me feel uneasy. I worked my way to the back of the store where the restrooms were. The yelling got even louder, so I turned around to see one of the men with a blue North Face jacket holding up a 9mm in the air. He yelled enough, and brought the firearm down and fired. He hit the cashier in the head. He started shooting into the store and breaking the glass doors to the refrigerated drinks. I freaked out and hid behind the closest display and started to hyperventilate. A manager came bursting out of the back office right by me and he had a firearm, too. He tried to shoot the assailant, but he wasn't quick enough. The man in the North Face jacket hit the manager in the chest, and he collapsed about 10 feet from me. He was bleeding everywhere. The blood was just pouring out of him from his chest and he was struggling to breathe. I crawled over to him since I had learned first aid as a Boy Scout. I applied pressure with my hands, but I knew it wouldn't make a difference. He was bleeding from his back too and the floor was slippery from all the blood and it was all over my knees from trying to help him. I realized he wouldn't live without immediate medical attention. The man in the jacket started shooting again. He shot the lights over the hot dog display that I had last seen Chris standing by. And then everything slowed down and became incredibly vivid. I wiped my bloody hands on my shirt, reached over the manager's body, grabbed the firearm, pulled the slide, and stood up. I had fired one before. My dad taught me when I was younger. I aimed at the second man and shot him in the leg. The recoil of the shot caught me off guard because it was much more powerful than I expected. The man in the jacket turned around and looked me in the eye. He seemed shocked that I had just shot his accomplice. He kinda shook his head like he had no clue what had just happened and then he started to raise his own firearm. I shot him twice in the chest and he fell backwards and dropped his gun.